Hello there, I am James, and this is James Does Cooking. So, this is episode 1 of it. Yes, I'm trying this out. And we are doing a slow cooker apple crumble. There is nothing better in the cold weather than a warm apple crumble. And we are making a double batch, so we already cut up some apples. They are Honeycrisp apples and they are so good. So now, what we're gonna need for this is apples. The recipe says 6, but since we're doubling it, it's gonna be 12. We're gonna need 1 cup of sugar, so I'll get that out real quick. We'll need 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So I'll be right back with that stuff, okay, I'm back, and we're gonna get started. So, for the double batch, what it calls for is 1 cup of granulated sugar. So I have my sugar in here, and we're gonna get out my measuring cup. I'm sorry about the mess, but it'll be cleaned up for next episode. So, have my cup. Gonna whoops, sorry about that. My battery is running low. So, gonna get the sugar in the measuring cup. While this is going, might as well tell you about myself. I am James Gonzalez. I have 2 older sisters and 1. And I love baking. It's a great hobby for me. And I just love doing it. It's fun to make something that makes people happy. So now we have our sugar. Scrape off the extra with anything that you have. And we're gonna put it in the apples. Along with, so now we can set that aside. And move on to what's next. So, what we now need is 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, I think this is gonna be delicious. So, we're gonna 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. I'm struggling with this. 3 tablespoons. And 4 tablespoons of flour. There we go. So, now we can set the flour aside too. Now, next, we get 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. So, we're gonna take the measuring spoons from before. We're gonna get 1 teaspoon. I hope that doesn't look backwards, because it looks backwards from my perspective, but And we're gonna get 1 tablespoon. And 2 tablespoons. All into the bowl with those delicious apples. And now is a good time, if you're following along with this, to clean up some of this stuff, because it's gonna help you in the long run to keep a clean space. So now, we're gonna mix in the mixture. And then once it's all mixed, we're gonna put it in a crockpot. So now it's time to make the topping. So give me a second to get another bowl and I'll be. Okay, we are back and we have all this stuff for the topping. I love the topping of apple crumble. So, we have some oats here. Now, these don't have to be any special kind of oats. I got them from an oatmeal box. Not any of the flavored oatmeal, just good old oatmeal. And I'm gonna put 1 cup of oats into the bowl. And this is a different bowl than before, so it's clean. We're gonna grab the flour from before. And we're gonna get 1 cup of flour now. Put that in the bowl. And gonna put this on top and set this aside. Gonna add a little bit of salt. And 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get your brown sugar. You're gonna wanna dip your measuring cup in there. And then, while it's inside the bag like this, you're gonna pack it down into the cup. Now what this is doing is this is packing the sugar. And in it goes. Okay, did not expect that to be so slow. So, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stir this until it's well combined. So, gonna stir this with my green spoon. Now another thing you need to know about me, and if you live in Michigan, you know what I'm talking about. I like Michigan State. I used to like Michigan, but I like Michigan State now, so. So, I just made a mistake. I forgot that I was doubling this recipe. So if you're making one batch of the recipe, you're gonna wanna do half of what I'm doing. But I forgot that I was doubling it, and I put in 1 3/4 cup when it was supposed to be 2 3/4 cup of brown sugar. So, this is a great example of that you might make mistakes sometimes. Nobody's perfect, and it might not look exactly like what the pictures do for the first time. But as you try again, you might find out that it gets easier for you as you go on. So, we've got the mixture for the topping right here. And now, we have some cold butter. I chopped it into 8 for each stick, and I'm using 2 sticks for 1 batch of this. It's gonna be 1 stick, but in it goes. And I'm gonna grab my trusty fork, and I am going to smush this in until it's crumbly. Now I realized that it's hard with a fork, so I'm using a pastry blender instead. Okay, so after you're done getting that butter mixed in with it, you're gonna put it down onto the slow cooker pot that you have with the apples in it, and it should look a little something like this. Doesn't that look good? So, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna grab the slow cooker, and I'm gonna go grab that real quick. We're gonna put this in here. So now we have got the apple mixture in here, all ready to go. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down here. I'm gonna put this on high, and my slow cooker only has about 4 hours, so I'm gonna set a timer for 2 hours, and we're gonna come back after it's done. Okay, it has been 2 hours now, and your apple crisp should be done. Let's take a look. Doesn't that look good? And I know you can't smell it through the screen, but it smells so good. And to serve it, just serve it in a bowl with a little bit of your favorite ice cream. Thanks for coming to the first episode of Cooking with James. Hopefully next time it will be a live stream on Facebook Live. I don't know how it will work out, but thanks for watching.